Before we get in the program, Holly, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
So the joke of the week is, why do plants use photosynthesis?
I don't know why.
So they can have a light snack.
Light, L-I-T, L-I-G-H-T, yeah, like the sun, light.
A light snack. So this week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com. American-made rescue products keep your family, home, and yard protected from pests, insects like wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com.
Summer is known to be, and seems to be by record, getting warmer and warmer. Okay, it's just hot. So there's some things in which we need to do in order to protect our plants, in order for the plants to produce, as well as make them comfortable so they can produce. So there's a couple of things in which we can do. One, obviously, for many of us, water. Water consistency, water and irrigation system, whether it's Eaton Brothers soaker hose or drip irrigation from dripworks.com or a watering can or something of that type on a regular basis. Keep the soil damp, not soggy, and not overhead watering during the peak of the day when a lot of it can be evaporated. And the whole myth of if the leaves get wet, they're going to magnify with the water droplets and burn the holes in the leaf, no, it's not true.
Right. So you want to make sure you are watering frequently and consistently. And
that's why you advise invest into a irrigation system, whether soaker or drip, because it takes a lot of the time out of it. It saves you a lot of time.
Right. So something like a drip irrigation or a soaker hose, you can program it. A lot of these you can program it. You can put on a timer, etc. And this way you have the consistent watering. And you might say, well, it's raining right now. It's been raining all week. Well, in July, you might not see any rain for 3 weeks.
Or 8.
Or 8 weeks. So you want to keep this in mind as you think about watering, that you need to be consistent. And you're like, no, I know. I'm going to water every day after work. And maybe you will. We're not saying everybody is like this, but I think that it's a good investment, and we are going to talk about shade cloth, which is another investment.
Shade cloth comes in many percentile of darkness in order to prevent the harsh rays of the sun from burning your plant up. It does allow a certain amount of light to get through based on the density of the shade cloth. This is more predominantly used in southern applications, but I have seen in the northern portions of the United States in some gardens this being applied. Now, what is the recommended percentile of shade cloth for vegetables?
Yeah, so one thing you want to know is there's 2 different types of shade cloth. There's knit and woven is typically what most people purchase. So if you're not sure, I don't think that you would necessarily find knit. Woven is going to be like the more taunt one. And so 30 to 60% is ideal for vegetables, fruits, fruit trees, nurseries, etc. And shade cloth will also help your vegetables and fruits safe from birds oftentimes, because they're not going to swoop down over your plants or your vegetables, whatever. Now,
shade cloth can be applied low to the plant, or I've seen most applications where there's a framework above the growing area where this is stretched across like a tarp in order to prevent the sun from burning the plants, but also allows you to get in and harvest it. It's not necessarily like a frost cloth or a woven bug repellent cloth where you drape it over the plant itself. You're high above 7, 8, 9 feet on a framework, so you can get in and harvest, as well as allow water to come through, but not to the consistency that if you're
not familiar, if you've ever seen shade cloth, you could just Google image search it, or you might have seen it. A lot of times they'll have them in like garden centers, nurseries, etc., over where the plants are kept to keep those seedlings safe
and to make the customers more comfortable.
Because
it's hard to pick out tomatoes when the sweat is bleeding through your eyes.
So 70% is for like greenhouses, and the 90% that would be used for ground cover. So it's very, very thick, as opposed to the 30 to 60.
Another way in which you can keep your vegetables happy is mulch. by mulching, whether you use pine straw, pine needles, or regular straw or chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, whatever you use, make sure it's safe and not been sprayed with an herbicide or persistent chemical. It can keep your soil 3 to 5 degrees cooler than the ambient temperature. Say that, you keep moisture to it. A cooler root system for a plant is a more productive plant. Just like in humans, if you keep your head cool, your body is cooler. And that is the same concept when it comes to plants. So any type of mulch, you can put it on a little thicker on the mulch, and it'll be just fine. Also use intensive planting, which means plant things closer together, which shades the soil, which keeps the soil cooler. The concept would be like the Three Sisters garden, where you have the squash as the ground cover, the corn as the pole for the beans, and the corn produces while the beans climb up the corn. But you're shading the soil to prevent water evaporation as well as heat permeating into the soil.
Right. So that's the
intensive plant.
Intensive. Well, I want to talk about harvesting regularly.
Okay.
This is important whether you have, hot weather or regular summer, whatever we end up having. Harvesting regularly is important because it lets the plant know I need to keep producing. And so it helps the plant be less stressed out. So if there are other conditions stressing the plant out, it's like one less thing for it to worry about. So it helps keep it happy and healthy and feeling productive. So that's why you want to harvest regularly.
Ways to keep yourself cool, and this is a fun little fact. 1 ounce of water for every 2 pounds of your body weight you should be consuming on a given day. Not necessarily a hot day, just any given day. Or a better way of breaking this down is men 19 and older, 13 cups of water or 104 ounces. 128 ounces is 1 gallon, so kind of keep that in mind. And women 19 or older should consume 9 cups of water or 72 ounces of water. 64 ounces is a half gallon, so a little bit more than a half gallon of water, or 1 ounce for every 2 pounds of weight you have on your body, in order to stay hydrated. When you're hydrated, you're less susceptible to sickness. You are better focused because you are hydrated. You can think clearer, and you feel better because you're hydrated. Another fun little thing in which you can look at is Mr. Cool DIY Direct. You can be your own air conditioner person. They offer a cooling system. You can control your home comfort by Mr. Cool DIY Direct. Empower yourself with a top-notch, do-it-yourself coolant and heating solution. Mr. Cool 4th Generation Mini Split. DIY-friendly way to keep your home perfectly comfort all year round. You can be your own AC person.
Yeah, the systems come with everything you need for installation, including our patented pre-charged line sets, eliminating the need for expensive professional help. You can visit MrCoolDIYDirect.com to learn more, to take the first step towards a cooler, more comfortable home. And you can use your promo code GARDEN for a special discount and a free nationwide shipping. Mr. Cool DIY Direct, cool your house, heat your space, all by yourself.
Might as well take advantage of the technology and keep yourself cool and your family after you've come out of the garden and you're consuming your 1 ounce per 2 pounds. Is that what it was? Yeah.
1 ounce per
1 ounce per 2 pounds of weight.
So it'd be like basically an ounce
if you're
half your weight.
Yeah, if you're 100 pounds, you're drinking 50 fluid ounces of liquid. Yeah.
All right, so we are brought to you today by our sponsors, Walton's Inc. Listen, we know you care about where your food comes from. Canning and preserving your vegetables, fruits is great, but what about the meat? At Walton's Inc., you can get everything, equipment, seasoning, and supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat products your way to your high standards. You want to make snack sticks that people will actually like. Walton's created meatgistics.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. Walton's even has a full line of their own meat grinders, mixers, and sausage stuffers to help you go from animal to edible. Walton's, everything but the meat. You can use code GROW50, that's GROW50, to save 10% off your order of $50 or more at waltonsinc.com.